Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video of Being Intentionally Creative. This video is going to be a little bit different, and the only reason I say that is because of some of the stuff I've been going through the last couple of weeks, actually longer than that. But I want to talk about why being intentionally creative is so important. You know, there are days when I just can't get my, sort of head together with things I want to do. And I find, though, when I am focused in on doing something creative, that it really does make a difference in my life. And again, I've talked about when we get creative and we're doing something we love and we're passionate about it, that time goes by, it's like we're in another world. On my other channel, I've talked a little bit about, what's going on in reality now. And I can't even wrap my head around it some days, and I'm trying to figure out what's going, sort of squirrely in the world and why some people are doing some of the things they're doing. And I can't explain it. I get wrapped up in it, and then it just brings me down. So part of being intentionally creative is the fact that it allows you to escape. And we've talked about this creativity thing and the magic and where it lives, because we know there are so many different things we can do to be creative that, again, doesn't relate back to being an artist, a writer, a musician, a dancer, a singer, that type of thing. It goes so far beyond that. With this video, what's the point? As much as I struggle sometimes with life, and I'm going to be totally honest with you that there are moments I do, I know with my creativity that it can just push away what's going on outside and just allow me a sense of calmness, a sense of I don't care what's going on out there. And there's some days I should probably care more than I do, but at the same time, if I get too wrapped up in what's going on in the world, then I just feel like I'm spinning my wheels, and what is the point of anything? And I don't really want to make this video negative in any shape or form. I want to actually, bring it together and explain why, there is something out there and there is a point. And again, as much as there's some days I can't figure out what that point is, which is okay. And I think it's okay for anyone if you can't figure out what the point is today. However, what I've been finding when I'm doing certain things, because I do want to escape reality and what's going on, and I make that face and I say it that way because I seriously don't get it. What some people are doing in the world these days just makes no sense to me whatsoever, and I always think to myself, would you want that happening to you? And if you don't want it happening to you, then you really got to think twice about, what you are doing to others. And when I say that, I don't mean you, my collective audience. I mean the yous out there that are doing these things. Anyway, so what's the point? The point of this video, the point of being creative, is that it gives you that opportunity to just go, you know what? Not today, not in this moment. I just need a few hours by myself. And if you can get those few hours, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. If you can only get a half hour, that is a beautiful thing. And I really want people to appreciate those moments of creativity when it doesn't really matter what's going on around you. You're just sort of, engrossed or in connection with your creativity. So one of the things I've been doing lately, and again, when I can and it's quiet around here, and sometimes absolute silence around me is exactly what I need. And other days it's like I need noise because I'm not getting any noise, right? So one of the things I've been doing, and I shared this on my other channel, was I love to do decoupage as part of my artwork because I'm trying to expand what I do. I'm trying to find new and innovative ways to decorate things, to make them more unique. And so these pieces here, now I've decoupaged this obviously because as talented as I like to think I am some days, for me to have painted this would have been, a stretch and 3 million miles worth of. But anyway, so I took a ceramic piece I had done, ceramic resin piece I had done, and it's meant to be a holder or a planter, or make it whatever you want. Again, let your creative and your imagination take place. But I took a napkin and I started to decorate this piece because I had them sitting around, and I have 3 others sitting in my other room that I want to do something with. I've got the tissue paper, I've got napkins, I want to just keep working on them. And I ripped up the pieces of, this is a napkin. I was saying tissue paper was on my head. I go, no, Natalie, it's not. This is a napkin that I ripped up into little pieces. And when I say little pieces, I mean, will be reasonable, like depending on how much I needed. Like the pieces may have been about this by this kind of idea. And, you know, doing that and then gluing each piece on, because, and I will tell you that in case you're interested, I'm going to be doing a video on decoupage because someone on my other channel asked me about it. Much easier to work with small pieces than it is to work on a big piece. I did a big napkin on one of my other pieces and I didn't get it laid out right, and yeah, so I won't ever do it that way again. But I liked, you know, the ripping. So, you know, imagine yourself, you're taking the extra pieces because you can get 2 and 3 ply napkins. So the pulling apart of the napkins is kind of, it's relaxing. And then ripping things up. So if there's any kind of tension in your life, you know, the ripping it up, but doing it gently, kind of, again, it brings you back down. So the point is to, you know, calm yourself, get into something that, you know, is just a happy place, if you will. And then taking, you know, the slow and methodical, almost the meditative aspect of picking up a piece and, you know, applying some glue and then laying it down and then tapping it on with your fingers. Again, I'll be doing a video on my other channel if you're interested in watching it. And then just working your way around the piece and just placing things and going, oh, this color, you know, or this section would look good here. And how far do I want to go? Like, it's meditative. And when I did this, I was by myself. The dog was home with me. My husband had already gone to work. And I just relaxed and got into just, let's apply this, let's apply this. Now, I have no idea how long it took me to do that, and I don't really care. With what's the point was it allowed me to forget about everything for a while. What's going on out there in the world that almost seems like a reality show gone totally sideways. And some may not agree with me on that, but that's just my point of view on this. But having something that you can sit down with and just relax into and be creative and let your imagination flow and truly just let the outside world go. To me, when I think, what's the point of anything I'm doing? And then I sit down and do something like this, the point is I'm creating something unique. I'm creating something beautiful. I am meditative. I am more relaxed. I don't care what's going on in the world because I know I can get back to that later if I need to. Even from the perspective of being off social media, one of the things I sometimes do is I have Audible on my phone. I've downloaded books. I listen to those. Sometimes I get, you know, great inspiration out of them because they give me ideas and circumvent or get through my world of reality, which is a beautiful thing. But I think with what's the point is you get to spend time doing something you love. For some people, it's out and they're gardening and they can spend hours doing that and they're working with earth and nature and arranging things and just making it their own and being peaceful in that. So I guess for me, the big thing I'm going to have to remember moving forward with what's the point, and I could expand on more with that about what's the point because there's many other things that go along with the what's the point of things. But the point of being intentionally creative is what it allows you to do, how it allows you to be free, how it allows you to, I don't know, relax, Let go of things that right at that moment don't need your attention or shouldn't get your attention in order to bring you back so you're more centered. So as I found doing the decoupage, and I want to do more of it, I have lots of tissue paper I can work with, napkins I can work with, different objects I can do. It's a relaxing state of being. It is to bring more joy to your life. Realize you don't have to be submerged in reality all the time. I highly recommend it, being intentionally creative, to just get back to you and what makes you happy and what you're passionate about. Again, doesn't have to be a long time, doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. It's that sense of being centered in your life and in what makes you happy. Because I guarantee you, like when I get done something like that, I feel a lot better. And sometimes I don't even want to stop. I'm so in love with what I'm doing, and I'm so not focused on life that it brings me back to center. And that's what I'm hoping with What's the Point? Why be intentionally creative? It's because of the joy it will bring you at the end of the day. And that's one of my pillars, is joy. So bit of a soapbox for me today with this video. Not very long. Didn't want it to be. It was important to me that I talk to you about what's the point. If you're ever in that same boat of waking up in the morning going, what's the point? Then I'm going to recommend you tap into your creativity and use that as a way of going, there is a point. I am doing this for a reason. This does make me feel better. It allows me to practice to get better and to shine a light on the talent I have as a creative individual. That's all I've got for you today. Short and sweet, as I think most of my videos this week have been, will be, just because I need to get centered again. But I hope you found this helpful. I would love if you could comment below if you ever have those moments of what's the point. And if you can honestly say that when you get creative and when you sort of focus in on that, yeah, it makes a difference in your life. So have a great day, be intentionally creative, and just have fun with whatever it is you love to do. Take care, and we will see you in the next video. Bye for now.